Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Superstars of Wrestling Review Series 4. In this particular case, the 30th of May, 1992. We open with the Legion of Doom versus Kato and Rich Mitchell. Later, they bring in a Bruce Mitchell. I'm not sure if that's a shot at the Torch columnist or whether that's just random. But anyway, Legion of Doom, former tag team champions here. Kato seems to be on enhancement talent duty on a pretty regular basis here. Animal not having anything to do with the strikes that he brings about. Animal chases Kato around. Kato gets a couple of shots in, doesn't do him any good as we see a big leapfrog and a power slam. One of the better power slams in the business from Animal, and then Hawk makes his way in. Hawk is going for a clothesline, but his opponent dives out of the ring. Kato over the top rope and winds up in trouble. The Beverly Brothers once again calling the Legion of Doom the Legion of Sissies. That feud is never really blown off. I know they do some house shows. I'd actually like to see some of those matches. I really wish that this era, 92 through about 95, had more house show footage or fan cam footage or something. That'd be cool to see. Mitchell goes flying off the Doomsday device. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Update on the Ultimate Warrior and Papa Shango is up next. We've kind of seen all that there is to see as far as that angle goes. However, Papa Shango in a match next. Doesn't actually wrestle, but lights his opponent's boots on fire. I remember as a kid being very caught off guard of how did they do that. I remember, even though it wasn't I wasn't the right age for it, being kind of intimidated at 11, 12 years old. Like, I actually thought voodoo was real. I wasn't dissuaded from this. Anyway, the opponent is again covered in black goo. Also, once again, his boots lit on fire. Event Center Tatanka and the Repo Man. Tatanka basically cuts a promo saying that Rick Martel is extremely disrespectful. He's reasonably angry about, the blatant disrespect with the eagle feathers, etc. and so forth. Repo Man cuts again a promo about people not wanting their stuff to be taken, even if it is his responsibility to do it. Bob Bradley, who has been part of the World Class series, if you haven't checked that out, over 340 episodes, the entire run, as exists on the WWE Network in audio format, save a bunch of hours. Just checking that out. But anyway, Bob Bradley here, enhancement talent for former WWF champion Sergeant Slaughter. Slaughter's babyface run here never really made a bunch of sense to me. After such a heel run, it never fit, and I don't think he ever got the G.I. Joe vibe back either. Bradley, though, takes a bunch of shots and does a good bit of selling. Obviously, Bradley has been kind of demoted to an enhancement talent here. Slaughter uses the Cobra Clutch. Then we go to Rick Martel and Jim Powers, a match that I have seen on house shows before, and this is not their best outing. Obviously, meant to show Martel as the greater guy, and he comes out with the arrogance and the pink tights and the whole thing. I still think the model could have been, I don't know, a two-time tag team champion as a heel with somebody. Not quite sure who I put him with, but I just think there was more in the model character than they allowed. Martel picks the foot, does a cartwheel and some jumping jacks. Martel again brags about being one of the best guys that is the model. Irish whip and then holding onto the arm by Jim Powers. Powers never really gets a whole bunch of offense together other than maybe a drop kick or two. And Martel tries to use the arrogance after winning the match as a weapon. Nasty Boys basically say they don't want anything to do with high energy. They'll ground and pound them. They are unimpressed with the high energy, of course, high energy being Koko Ware and Owen Hart. And then The Undertaker says he's going to get rid of the Berserker once and for all. Then we go to the Natural Disasters against Dwayne Gill and Mike Fury. Don't know much about Fury. They also do hype the Crunch Classic Coliseum video release. I used to love Coliseum video as a kid. Eventually, I'm going to do the Coliseum videos that exist on the network. I'm going to review them here because there's a lot of fun stuff there. Anyway, Natural Disasters beating up both enhancement talents at the same time. Roll through kind of DDT by Typhoon in the middle of that, and then double back elbows there. Earthquake, for his size at the time, one of the best big men in the sport, and surprised he didn't have a little bit of a longer run. Anyway, big splash by Typhoon in the corner, and they do eventually, I want to say, get the tag team championships back, although my history on that is a little fuzzy. It used to be I could remember everything from the 85 to 95 era, but time has taken me away. 32 years of fandom. Hard to keep all these title changes straight. But anyway, I'm pretty sure they did have a resurgence as baby faces. Anyhow, Typhoon tags off to Earthquake. Earthquake gets a splash of his own in the corner and would not want to be Mike Fury because he has to take a large splash in that corner. And then Dwayne Gill tries to come in and cause some mischief, doesn't get anything done. Natural Disasters take him out with a double shoulder block and double shoulder tackle. One thing that's really cool about Superstars, you may always know who's going to win, but you see some really cool stuff. Anyway, Earthquake with a power slam and gets the victory with the splash. And then we move to Dave Roulette. What a name versus the Big Boss Man. Of course, Boss Man still dealing with the nails issue. Makes rather quick work of Dave Roulette. And, that match opens things up. Nails, though, does make his way through the crowd and you see the Boss Man kind of looking around, takes a few shots at Roulette. Roulette can barely stand. Not exactly a time when there's an abundance of awesome enhancement talent. Nails, though, makes his way through the crowd and attacks the Boss Man, handcuffs him, hits him several times with a nightstick in the ribs, about the face. This is a brutal beating. One of the better beatings. Nails never worked out as a character outside of this Boss Man feud, which is one and done by November, December of this same year. But man, if you want to learn how to get heat in a child-friendly promotion, I don't even know that they could have done this with the nightstick and all the devastation of this. But man, this is the way to get a character going. Anyway, Glenn Ruth, one half of the Headbangers versus the Berserker. Berserker still has yet to try to kibosh the Undertaker. Big boot by Berserker. Berserker, otherwise known as John Nord. He's covered in great detail his world-class run. Also a protege of Bruiser Brody, and you certainly see that here in his attack style. Mr. Fuji on the outside with the Berserker, and Berserker hits several diving knees, among other things. Big body slam, and Berserker eventually ties Ruth, who is, again, one half of the Headbangers, up into the ropes, hits running kicks and the like, and then eventually hits a fall forward slam, tosses Ruth over the top rope to the floor. Crush basically says crushing a cars is the way he enjoys breakfast. Then we see the same basic promos from Sergeant Slaughter and Bret Hart that we've seen in previous weeks in the Event Center to close the show. We'll be back with the month of June right after this.